Hey guys, it's Leia with Yoga Del Sol, bringing you another video. So this will be a full flow for all levels to intermediate. So let's go ahead and begin, and we will begin on our backs today. So go ahead and lay on your back, and we're just going to let our feet splay open to the front corners of the mat. Tuck your shoulders in underneath you, arms by your side. Let's take a couple deep breaths here to get grounded in and out of the nose. Letting that belly fill with air on an inhale. Exhaling, emptying out completely. Giving yourself permission to let go here, to be present. Let go of any tension you're holding on to for a couple more breaths. Good. Let's go ahead and stretch our arms up overhead on the ground behind us and just give a nice long stretch like you just woke up. Stretching out long. You're going to grab onto the right wrist with the left hand and slide the arms over to the left side of the mat. Pick the feet up, place them on the left side of the mat also. So you're laying flat in a big side stretch. Breathe deeply in and out of the right side body. One more breath, expanding the ribs. Good. Come back to center. And let's switch sides. So you're going to grab the left wrist, drag the arms over to the right side, pick the feet up, place them on the right side of the mat. 3 breaths here. Breathing into that side body. One more breath. Come back to center. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest, hug around that knee. And just take 2 deep breaths here, pulling the knee in a little bit closer as you exhale. One more. Good. Let's take half happy baby. So bring that foot up into the sky. Grab down on the outside of that foot. Maybe you take your left hand onto the left hip, holding it towards the mat. Breathe one more breath into the belly. Pull down on that foot. Good. Place that leg back down on the mat. You're going to hug your left knee into the chest. 2 breaths here. One more breath. Good. Let's take half happy baby on this side. Grab onto the outside. Ground your right hip into the mat. Maybe taking your right hand on top of the hip. One more breath. Good. Let's place that leg down on the mat. And we're just going to hug both the knees together into the chest. Massage the back of the body here for a moment. Feeling where you might be tight. Breathing deeply into the back, into the front body. And we're going to make it up to a seated position. So you can cross your feet at the ankles and rock and roll till you come up to seated. Or just push yourself up to a seated position, sitting up tall. We're going to roll our shoulders back, make sure that we're sitting up tall and in a comfortable position here. Spine is long. Take your hands to prayer and heart center and bring your heart towards your thumbs. Close the eyes here for a moment and go ahead and set an intention for your practice today. So what can you bring into your life? What kind of energy can you radiate today? Think of that now. Beautiful. Then let's open up our eyes. You're going to take your right hand onto the mat outside of your right hip. Slide the arm away from you. Bend the right elbow. Bring the left arm up by the left ear. 3 deep breaths here as we hinge towards the right side. On your exhales, maybe you bend a little deeper, keeping the hips, the sit bones on the mat. One more breath. Good. Switching sides, left palm comes out to the mat, slide it away from you, bending at the elbow. The right arm comes up, gaze is up, breath is strong. Chest towards the sky, gaze to the sky. Good. Let's flow back and forth for a moment. Just moving the side body. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper. Good. Take the left hand down. Bring the right hand down by the left. And we're just going to take a nice stretch. A nice little twist here. Maybe the right elbow presses into the knee a little bit. Breathe. Come back up to the other side. Right hand down, left hand down. Take the left elbow onto the right knee. Nice little, just a interesting little twist. Breathe into the belly. Beautiful. Come back to center. And we're going to come onto all fours. So let's come onto our hands and our knees. Let me tuck my shirt in. Come onto your hands and your knees here. Shoulders are right above the wrist. Hips are right over the knees. We're going to take some cat-cows here. So drop the belly. Bring the gaze up and forward. Tailbone slightly lifts. Heart shines forward. Exhale. Press into the cat. Chin to chest. Inhale. Cow. Exhale. Cat. And keep going. Take a couple more with your own style, own pace here. Just listen to your own body. Maybe your hips shift around in circles down to your ankles and back to the front and back down. Just continue to move with your breath here. Cricking and cracking a few times. Good. Come back to a neutral spine, flat spine. You're going to walk the hands a couple inches out in front of you. Spread the fingers wide. Let's come into our first down dog. So the hips come high. You're really going to press the mat away from you. So pressing into the thumb and the index finger. Feet are hip distance apart. And let's walk our dog out. So bend the knees one by one. And stay still in your down dog here. Shake the head out, yes and no. Good. Then you're going to hover your knees towards the mat, 2 inches off of the mat. Come into plank arms, and your back flattens out. Hold here for 3 breaths. Keeping the belly button tucked into the spine. One more breath. Press back into a down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Good. Take your fingertips onto the mat or onto your shins. Slight bend in the knees. Stretch the spine out. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Hands come to the mat. Head is heavy. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to shins or on the mat. Exhale, fold forward. Head is heavy. We're going to interlace our fingers behind our back. So take your hands onto your bottom, palms facing towards the sky. Then maybe you can interlace the fingers together, the hands together, and rinse your shoulders out. Bring your arms up into the sky. Head is heavy. Shake the head out, yes and no. Yes and no. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. Take the hands back down to the mat. We're going to walk out into a plank. Come to a plank position, dropping the tailbone, sinking into the shoulders a bit, keeping the core engaged. Two breaths here. One more breath. Press back to a down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Use your core to pull you. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, back to down dog. And we're going to walk our feet up to the top of the mat this time. Your hands will come right in front of your feet or back to the shins. Look out in front of you. Stretch that spine out long. Shoulders away from the ears. Fold forward, emptying out. Head is heavy. Feet are grounded. Slight bend in the knees. Grab onto your elbows here and just hang for a moment, shaking the head out, yes and no. Swish the grass with the elbows. Yes and no with the head. Roll up to standing, so root to rise, root into the feet. Stand tall. You're going to make sure you're grounded in your feet. Feet are hip distance apart. And you're standing at the front of your mat. Arms down by your side. Tuck your tailbone slightly under. Chest lifts. Rib cage stay tucked in. Shoulders away from the ears. Ground in your feet, all four corners. On an exhale, hands come to prayer. Inhale, stretch up and back out of the hips. Exhale, bow forward, hinging from the hips. Hands come to the outsides of the feet. You can bend your knees a little bit. Look out with a flat back. Step the right leg back. And come into a runner's lunge for a moment. So keeping that knee above the mat on the right side, the right knee. And then that left knee is right over the left ankle. Keeping the spine long, trying to stretch it out. Drop right knee, right toes. And just let gravity help sink you open here. Continue to breathe in and out of that belly. Plank. Stepping that left foot back, come to your plank. Then we're going to lower down, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, look up, baby cobra. So elbows in towards the body, hands under the shoulders, stretch up, look up. Then press into a down dog. So come to your knees, hips come high, down dog. Look forward, the right foot comes all the way up, help it up there. It's in between the hands and that right knee is now over the right ankle. Runner's lunge on this side. Spine is long. Drop down to the left knee, left toes. And if you have two blocks at home, sometimes it's nice to do these with blocks by your feet. Engaging that core, the left foot comes forward, bow the head down. Stretch the spine out, looking out, bring the arms out by the ears, hinge all the way up and back, out of the hips. Prayer, arms by your side, exhale, come to prayer. Inhale, up, exhale, bow. We're speeding it up a little, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, and step the left leg back. Drop the left knee, left toes, look out. Plank, lower down. Inhale, up. So that's baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Look forward. Left foot comes forward. Drop the right knee, right toes, sink to the mat. Right foot comes forward. Bow down. Look out. Use your arms to come up and hinge back out of the hips. Prayer. Arms by your side. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift, right leg back. Plank. Lower down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down dog. Look forward, right foot steps forward. Drop left knee, left toes, look up. Left foot forward, bow. Look out, come up, hinge back. Prayer, we have one more side, arms by your side. Exhale, prayer. Every breath has a movement. Inhale, up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, left leg back. Drop knee, drop toe. Plank. Lower down, knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps forward, drop knee, drop toe. Right foot forward, bow. Look out. Come all the way up, hinge back. Prayer. Arms by your side, and then just stand tall here. Good. We're going to ground ourselves, so we're going to come into a tree pose. So you're still facing the front of your mat. You're going to ground into your left foot, slight bend in the left knee, and bring the right foot anywhere along that leg except for the knee. So maybe it's on the bottom half of the leg or the top. And once you've found your grounding, you're going to tuck your tailbone under, keep the core engaged, hands come to prayer at heart center. Find your balance, find your grounding. Maybe you grow your tree. Maybe your hands come together, and sometimes it feels good when the hands are together to take them to the back of the head and look up and stretch up and back, opening the shoulders. One more breath. You're going to take your arms down by your side and keep the right knee up in the sky. Hold the arms up into the sky for flamingo. I'm going to come back to my mat. Hold, engaging the lower core. Then water dancer. The arms come back behind you, and the leg curls up behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back like you're squeezing a pencil, shoulders away from the ears. One more inhale, lift. And this time engage the lower core. Try to straighten out that front leg a little bit. Good. Lower that leg down to the ground, hands to heart center. Then down by your side, take a breath here. Shoulders back. Good. Tree pose on the opposite side. So you're going to balance on your right foot. You're going to drag the left foot anywhere but the knee on the side. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. Hands come to prayer. Gaze at something, a drishti, a spot you're looking at that's not moving in front of you. And just breathe. Maybe you press the hands together to help with the balance. Engage the core in this position, in this pose. Maybe the tree grows. Maybe the hands come together. And then behind the head as you lift the heart and the gaze. One more breath. Now remember to keep that left knee up as we lower the arms down. Keep that left knee in the sky, engaging that lower core. Good. Bring the arms up by your ears. Then curl the leg behind you. Arms come behind you. Squeeze a pencil behind the back. Inhale, arm and leg up. Exhale, back. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. One more. Inhale, up. This time, try to straighten that leg out in front of you. Good. And lower everything down to the mat, standing tall here. We're going to come into a chair pose, so heel toe, your feet together to touch, or they can be slightly apart. You're going to sit down like you're sitting in a chair, tucking the tailbone under slightly, arms by your ears. Weight is in the heels here, and your knees, or if you look down, your knees are behind your toes. One more breath. Hands come to prayer, fold forward, hands come to the mat, lower the head. Look out in front of you and come to a plank. Good. Then we're going to lower down, knees, chest, forehead to the mat or chin. Inhale, baby cobra on the belly or up dog if that's in your practice. Exhale, make it to down dog. Couple breaths here. Really pressing the mat away from you. Opening the back of the legs. Shining the back of the knees towards the sky. Heels relax. Bring the right leg up into the sky. Keep the toes towards the mat. The inner thigh is reaching towards the sky. Core engaged. We're going to step the foot forward and come into a runner's lunge for a moment. So that foot is up in between the hands. Runner's lunge. Then high lunge. Grounding your feet. Bring the arms up by your ears. Sink low here. Keeping the core engaged. You're going to reach out in front of you. So leaning forward, arms by your ears. Use the back. Bring the arms back behind you. Keep the torso leaning forward, but not really touching that leg, just leaning forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. Inhale the arms up. Then bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Step back into a plank. And take a vinyasa or go into a down dog. So that's lowering down for the vinyasa. Inhaling cobra or up dog. Exhaling down dog. We all meet in a down dog. One breath here. I wish I could see you guys, but I can't. Beautiful job. I know it. Inhale, the left leg up into the sky, toes towards the mat, inner thigh reaching to the sky. Exhale, bring the foot in between the hands. Stay in a runner's lunge here for a moment. High lunge, arms come up. Kind of slightly tucking the tailbone under still, ribs in and not sticking out, but your heart is open, shoulders away from the ears. Lean forward, arms back. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. One more inhale up. Hands come down to the mat, step back into a plank and take a vinyasa or go into a down dog. So that's lowering down, inhaling up for cobra or up dog, exhaling to down dog. 2 breaths here. Shake your head out, yes and no. Good. Inhale, the right leg comes up into the sky. Bend the knees so the foot falls towards the bottom and just open up the hip towards the sky here. Send breath into that hip. Keep pressing into the hands. Straighten the leg out behind you, engaging that glute, plugging the leg back into the hip. We're going to tap the knee to the right elbow. Inhale the leg up. Exhale left. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale the leg up. Exhale, fallen star, so the leg comes to the outside of the left of the mat. The right hand comes under your face. Flatten out that back foot. Reach for the sky. Arms are stacked. Hips are high. So you're on that sword edge side of the right foot. With the foot's on the left side of the mat. Come back to 3-legged dog. So you're going to swoop that right leg back up into the sky. And we're going to come down onto our forearms for 1 breath. Toes pointing towards the mat. Straighten out the arms. Keep the leg up. You're going to bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Bring it up and just hold here for a moment. And then lower down onto your forearms. And maybe down, if it feels good, to the left knee and the left toes. Take a breath here. A couple breaths. Let's bring that left forearm out across in front of us and reach back for that foot with the right hand, for the back foot. Good. Lower that back foot. Take both hands to the mat. Swoop that right leg up into the sky. Then bring it down to the ground. Take a breath. Inhale, left leg up, toes towards the ground. Bend the knee, opening it up, foot towards the bottom. Open the knee, breath into the knee. Into the hip and the knee. Straighten the leg back out behind you. Press into those fingers. Exhale the knee to the left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. Exhale left. And inhale the leg up, and then bring the sword edge of that foot out to the right side of the mat. Come onto the left hand under the face. The other arm comes up into the sky. That right foot goes flat. Hips are high. Fallen star. Good. Hands come back down to the mat, and you're going to shoot that left leg up into the sky. Hold it up there. Come down onto your forearms. Keep the leg up. Straighten the arms out. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Hold here for a moment. Maybe you move around a little bit. Then come down onto the knee and the toes. And onto the forearms. Couple breaths here. Good. Come back to the hands. And you're going to lift that left leg back and up into the sky. Lower the foot down. You're going to look forward and jump or step to the top of the mat. Good. Lower the head down, bow down. Look out, come all the way up. Use your core to pull you up. Hinge back. Prayer. Arms by your side. Good. We're going to step back into a warrior two with the left foot. So left foot comes back, warrior two. So you're in an arch to heel alignment. The back foot's matching the back of the mat. Cartwheel the arms open. Look over your front middle finger, shoulders back away from the ears. Your front knee is tracking towards your pinky toe. Lower down in that front leg. Lower down. Peaceful warrior. Back arm comes down the back leg. Front arm comes up. Fingers towards the ground behind you. Cartwheel the hands to the front of the mat. We're going to step back into a plank and go or flow from here. So that's taking a vinyasa or just going back into a down dog. So my vinyasa people, go ahead and lower down. Inhale, up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back down dog. Relaxing those heels, tilting the tailbone up to the sky. Inhale, the left leg rises. Exhale, step it forward, warrior two. So spin that back foot out, front heel to back arch alignment. Open the arms. Look over your front middle finger. Like you're spinning your inner thighs up to the sky. Tucking the tailbone under slightly. Peaceful warrior. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step back into a plank and go or flow. So when I say go or flow again, that is take a vinyasa or go right into a down dog. Yogi's choice. Take a breath here. I'm covered in hair as I see with these extra camera lights. Take a couple breaths. Good. You're going to inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. We're in a crescent lunge here. Bring the arms up, lower down. Take your hands to prayer, to heart center. You're going to step the left knee up into the sky. We're going to try to transfer into a standing split from here. So the arms will come down to the ground. The left leg will come up behind us. Let the head be heavy here. Walk the hands back towards that foot. Maybe you grab on to the outside of that ankle with the right hand or both hands. Lower the back leg down, step back into a plank and go or flow, so vinyasa, or skip that, go into a down dog, or of course always come into a child's pose if you need to. Inhale, left leg rises, exhale, step it forward, high lunge. Hands to heart center, bring the right knee up into the sky. Pressing the palms together, grounding a bit. Breathing in and out of that nose, most importantly, in and out of the belly. Full breaths. Good, we're going to transition into a standing split from here. So bring the hands down, the right leg comes up, drop the head. You can grab onto that ankle with the left hand. Maybe you try to balance a bit today. Keeping a slight bend in that left knee. Good. Step back to plank and go or flow. We all meet in a down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. You're going to crawl over to the left side of your mat. Your hands will come underneath your shoulders. Feet are as wide as they can be. Look out in front of you. Then you're just going to fold forward. So you'll walk your hands back. Maybe the backs of the hands come down to the ground behind you. Let the head be heavy. If your head's not touching, you can shake it out yes and no. The weight is towards the toes of your feet. Your tailbone is still lifting towards the sky. Good. Hands back underneath the shoulders. Stretch the spine out. Walk to the back of the mat. Come down onto the right knee and the right toes for a low lunge. Bring the arms up into the sky. Sinking low into that front knee. We're going to goal post the arms by the sides. Lift them straight. Goal post. Open the heart. Lift. Open. Lift. Open. Lift. One more. Open. Take your hands down down to the mat and step back into a plank and go or flow from here. So vinyasa, knees, chest, forehead, baby cobra to down dog or skip. You guys are doing great. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward in between the hands. Walk over to the right side of the mat. So same side, we're folding forward on, hands under the shoulders. Look out. Come to your fingertips for a moment. Stretch that spine out, lifting the tailbone up to the sky. Then fold forward. Maybe you come to a tripod headstand here, whatever's in your practice. Maybe you grab the outsides of your feet. Still breathing in and out of that belly. Maybe you interlace your hands behind your back. Good. Take your hands out underneath your shoulders, halfway lift. Walk over to the front of the mat and come down on the left knee, left toes for low lunge on this side. Arms come up by the ears. Keeping the spine long, the mid-spine, the neck soft. Open the heart, so arms by your side. Squeeze a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Bring the arms straight up by your ears. Squeeze the pencil. Keep going. Arms rise. Down, up, down, up. One more. Back, up. Hands come down to the front of the mat. Step back into a plank. Lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Let's come into a child's pose from here. So your knees will open mat distance apart. You can take a wide-legged child pose, big toes touch, heart comes to center, or that feels so good. Or maybe you take a traditional child's pose, knees together, arms down by your side, maybe a little separating of the knees, and try to get the forehead to come down to the mat. You can even grab the back of your feet for rabbit pose and try to keep the forehead. Just breathe in and out of that belly still. Good. Whichever child pose you're in, push yourself up. We're going to come back onto all fours here, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We're going to take the right arm out, left leg out behind you, engaging that core. Keep that leg at a good spot, not too high, not too low. Spine straight. Left shoulder over left wrist. Bring everything into center so the elbow touches the knee. Curve the spine. Bring everything out. In. Out. In. Out. One more in and out. You're going to take your right hand down to the mat. You're going to bring your left leg over to the right side of that back leg. So you can, your knees are on top of each other and you can just kind of sit back on your bottom. And if that didn't work, just try to get the right leg on top of the left. The knees are on top of each other, feet out by your side, tailbone in the mat, bottom in the mat. Lift your heart, and we're going to just fold forward here. So walk your hands out until you can fold. Let the head be heavy. Try not to hold on to any tension here. This is a great pose to open the hips. Good. Engaging the core, look out, and keeping the legs how they are. Just reach forward for the ground. Undo the legs so we can do the other side. The left arm goes out, right leg comes out behind us, toes pointing towards the mat, gazing out. Knee to elbow, extend, knee to elbow, extend, knee to elbow, extend. One more, knee to elbow, extend. Lower the left hand down. Bring that back leg to the left side of the left leg as we sit down, and that should stack your knees over each other. Make sure your feet are down by your sides and you're on both sits bones here. Keep the heart open, shoulders back, and walk the fingertips out as we fold forward for 5 breaths here. Just get quiet, try to quiet the mind, releasing any clenching or tension. Maybe you come back to your intention that you set at the beginning of class. One more breath. Good. Walk your hands back up towards your body. We're going to just keep both feet on the mat, bending the knees. Hug the knees into the chest. Sit up tall here. And just let the head be heavy as we slide the chin along the chest from ear to ear. If you find a tight spot, you can floss it out. Good. Remember, you're on this side of your mat, I believe. We are going to straighten out the spine and come all the way down, lowering down to the backs of the arms. Palms are in the mat. Just take a nice hammock pose here for a moment. Maybe the knees can touch and the feet walk mat distance apart. And maybe the knees sway from side to side. Good. Bring your feet flat onto the ground, legs hip distance apart, and roll down to your head. And your legs will come out just for a moment. Take a breath here. Arms down by your side here. Arms out to a T. Feet on the mat. So bending the knees. You're going to cross the right leg up and over the left. Pick the hips up and bring them 2 inches over to the right. Then let the legs fall heavy over to the left side as you gaze over your right shoulder. Just keep that right shoulder plugged into the mat most importantly. And just breathe in and out of the belly. Maybe you close your eyes. 4 breaths here. Let's boost our immunity and our digestion. One more breath. Good. Bring the feet back to the mat, hips back in the center, crossing the left leg up and over the right. Pick the hips 2 inches over to the left. Let the legs fall heavy over to the right and gaze over your left shoulder, keeping both shoulders plugged into the mat. Breathe here. Into that belly as always. Good. Come back to center. We're going to let the soles of the feet touch and the knees come out to the side so you're in like a diamond shape here. Take one hand to your heart, one hand on top of the belly. And let's think of something that we are grateful for today. Maybe it's a person, a place, a time, a thing. We're going to come into a full happy baby. So bring the feet up into the sky, grab onto the outsides or the insides of the feet, and pull down, angle the knees to come under the armpits, and the tailbone is sinking towards the mat. Let's take 3 breaths here into the belly. One more breath. Good. Hug your knees into your chest, rocking from side to side on the lower spine. And the hardest pose, final Shavasana. Let your feet splay open to the front corners of the mat. Let the feet just open up. Bring your arms down by your sides. Tuck the shoulder blades in underneath you. And close the eyes here. And let all the bones settle. And let your breath become normal. And maybe you have a nice mantra so you're able to come back to the breath when the mind wanders. Maybe your mantra is, I am breathing out fear and breathing in faith. Or maybe if you're emotional today, you picture a light above your heart. If you're intellectual, you can picture a light above your third eye, forehead center. And just breathe into that light. Let it send you strength, and you send it strength too. Continue to take as long as you need. Namaste.